85% of incarcerated New Yorkers will come home at some point. When they do, they're given $40 and a bus ticket. Members at New Yorkers United for Justice hope new legislation will help provide much more to those coming home. We're learning the victim was 77-year-old man John Lee. He was found with multiple stab wounds to his chest. He was found at 9 McLaren Street. That's right behind me. We still don't know a whole lot about the victim or his relationship to the suspect, Thomas Quillen. All right, so that was Jeb and Marilyn you just heard from, and they said the snow this past winter has actually encouraged them to head south to Florida. But for the rest of us that will stay here in the capital region, we'll keep shoveling out our driveways and get our cars all cleared off. But for now, reporting live in Niskayuna, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News. Traditions of wearing your pajamas inside out or putting a spoon in the freezer in hopes of a snow day will live on. Even with remote learning, school districts say they plan to keep those traditional snow days alive. As of right now, New York State Police have confirmed arrests have been made, but they have not confirmed how many have been arrested or what those charges are just yet. Well, and a big sigh of relief and a step in the right direction is what many pensioners said about today's announcement. Many of them have lost their homes, had to take on second jobs, and put off retirement because of the pension loss. That's right, Greg. So right now, the national average sits at about $3.59. But like you guys just mentioned, the average here in the capital region is higher at $4.19. Now, I spoke to one of the cousins of the family, and she says she's in awe by the turnout of tonight's event and says her family is truly touched by all the support that the community has shown them during this time. Now, the event goes until 7 o'clock tonight, so if you're here in the Lake George area, make sure you come on out. There's food, there's music, there's vendors, and a whole lot more. But for now, we'll send it back to you in studio. Reporting live in Lake George, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News. For Schenectady business owner Janet Hutchison, not much will change for her store when the mask requirement takes effect Monday.
We've been requiring masks all along. We have a lot of children that visit the store who for a long time couldn't get vaccinated.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling a Be Just So.
Ballston Spa business owner Kate Fryer adds the mandate gives an extra layer of protection for her current mask policy.
It's been hard to enforce, so I'm happy that now someone else has said we need to do it.
What about it has been hard, or what have you encountered with that?
Because there's no actual mandate. People don't want to wear it, especially if they're vaccinated, which I understand.
But not all business owners are happy about the policy. Up in Saratoga Springs, clothing store owner Heidi Owen West says timing couldn't be worse.
It looks like it needs to be implemented by Monday morning. I say what a brutal time frame for a business owner to try and get something new in place, especially during the busy holiday season.
Local health departments will be in charge of finding businesses that don't comply. Those fines could be up to $1,000 per violation. But not if you own a business in Rensselaer County. County Executive Steve McLaughlin released a statement Friday saying, quote, "This is the wrong direction for the state to be taking, especially given the innumerable orders, policy changes, and directives already made during the past 2 years. This is an overreach, and it comes at a time when residents and businesses are already struggling," end quote. The statement goes on to say, quote, "Rensselaer County will not utilize resources to enforce this new state mandate. If the state wants to enforce the mandate, the state will need to utilize state resources for those actions," end quote. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Department took no chances when protecting students from the nationwide school threat originating on social media app TikTok.
We had actually held over our midnight shift and called in our afternoon shift. So you're talking in excess of around 24 extra deputy sheriffs were assigned to all the public schools in the county.
Saratoga County officials add the extra patrolling of schools will not stop on Friday.
We are also going to continue this all of next week with the extra patrols leading right up until Christmas break.
Meanwhile, in Schenectady County, another threat was made on Snapchat directed at the Oneida Middle School. Shortly before 10 a.m., the school was placed in a lockout, while the threat was deemed uncredible by local city and county law enforcement and left some parents questioning if they'll bring their kids back.
I just got the girls out, checked them out of school, and now I'm going to go put them on homeschooling. But they need the socializing, so I don't know.
She feels nervous because it's not just me being exposed, it's the rest of the kids too.
Today I was released from prison.
Welcome home, Dante.
After life behind bars since the age of 17, Dante Mitchell became a free man Thursday morning. As he left the Fishkill Correctional Facility as his sentence was commuted, feelings of joy took over.
I feel satisfied that I did what was necessary in order to get myself free, because about 4 years ago, this is when I really committed to this process that I was gonna get clemency.
Friends and supporters say the work was more than worth it.
Today is a momentous day, like it's monumental. Oftentimes doing the work, there are a lot of losses, and we run into a lot of hurdles and challenges, but today is a huge victory.
Until Freedom, a social justice reform organization, supported Mitchell since the beginning. Founding members Angelo Pinto and Myson Linen say Mitchell's work to better himself should inspire others.
I just felt that his energy deserved to be out here free. I felt that he served his time for what he had, the crime he had committed. He had understood and was ready to come back and be a very, a reputable member of society. So I'm just glad that he's given the opportunity to do so.
Now adjusting to life outside prison, Mitchell's goal is to help guide young people in the right direction so they don't make the same mistakes he did.
I don't feel like there's any reason to be nervous or scared or fearful. I just know that, I have the inspiration and desire to come out here and do the right thing, and that's just that.
Reporting in Schenectady, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News. This weekend, people around the capital region are starting to feel the heat.
We like it hot. We spend enough time in the cold.
Too hot for me in May.
Yeah.
I can use it in August, but not in May.
Some are spending the weekend getting the pool open.
A new pressure gauge for our pool, and we had to get a new thermometer for our pool.
I'm looking to get the proper chemicals to make my pool nice and clear.
Others took advantage of the nice weather and flocked to the Troy Farmers Market. Vendors were well prepared to keep the goods and themselves cool.
Some of the products will melt, which is why we're on the shady side of the street. So you have to be careful, but the syrup is all sealed, so it's perfectly fine in the heat.
Grateful to be in the farmers market booth because our storefront's just a block and a half away, and when it's 90 degrees outside, it's much hotter inside. So right now I am counting my blessings.
But if you are out and about this weekend, emergency room doctors advise you to take it slow.
People are definitely not ready for this type of heat. It was just a few weeks ago, it was I think in the 40s. So try to stay in an air-conditioned building or stay inside, stay in the shade. If they go outside, make it short duration.
Dr. Robert Brewer from St. Peter's Hospital says the two age groups that are at a higher risk of medical emergencies during the heat are the young and the old.
People with chronic medical conditions on a lot of medications, those are the people that need to be extra careful.
Signs Dr. Brewer says to be aware of are being lightheaded, dizzy, or nauseous. You may start getting cramps in your legs or in other muscles. He advises you to take a break in the shade. If things get worse, call your doctor or visit urgent care. Reporting in the Capital Region, Emma Quinn, CBS 6 News. This morning, reporting from the Times Union revealing a settlement has been reached in a lawsuit stemming from the 2018 limo crash in Schoharie that claimed 20 lives. Abbott Nutrition says that baby formula production is once again resuming at the Michigan plant that became the epicenter of our country's baby formula shortage. Good evening. It is now the third day of protests over abortion rights. Demonstrations are continuing this weekend following Friday's bombshell Supreme Court decision that reverses Roe versus Wade. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette reports from New York on the emotional reaction. Tomorrow marks the 6th anniversary of the Pulse nightclub mass shooting in Florida that claimed 49 lives. A moment of silence was held at Orlando City Hall Friday to remember those lost in this act of hate. National Governors Association says it's forming a panel of governors to come up with recommendations to stop mass shootings. It will consist of 6 to 10 governors who will try to tackle the issues of gun control and school safety, with the issues being divided by partisan lines. Republican governors have left open the possibility that the recommendations could include gun control proposals. And it's unclear when people will be able to return to the areas surrounding a natural gas plant in Medford, Oklahoma, after an explosion there yesterday. And rescuers have found the bodies of 7 people who died in a helicopter crash in northern Italy this week.